The Gambia Armed Forces held a passing out parade for its intake 38 recruits on Friday at the Fajara Barracks. The new recruits have successfully completed 4 months of basic military training at the Armed Forces Training School. On March 5, 2023, 312 recruits of the Gambia Armed Forces Intake 38 began their basic military training. The training equipped them with the essential skills, drills, abilities, and knowledge required to serve the Gambia effectively. Out of the initial cohort of 320 training, 26 recruits absconded and 8 had to be medically discharged due to health concern. However, 299 recruits completed the 4 months basic military training. At the passing out parade, the new Gambia Armed Forces recruits showcased their newly learned drills before the distinguished guest. The Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, Mohamed B.S. Jallo, presided over the ceremony. In his speech, Vice President Jallo said that the passing out parade was a testament to the strength and readiness of the Gambia Armed Forces to defend the country's territorial integrity.
This occasion definitely calls for celebration, and the venue, this barracks, formerly called Depot, has been very instrumental in the history of training of the security services of this country since the days of the field force. The occasion also shows the resolve of my government in assuring that the protection of our sovereignty and territorial integrity is entrusted in the trustworthy hands of our very own sons and daughters in uniform. Your successful completion of basic military training, which is a form of passage of rights to become part of the brave and gallant men and women entrusted with the noble task of defending the territorial integrity and sovereignty of this nation, is indeed worthy of commendation.
The Vice President reaffirms his government's commitment to providing a supportive environment for the country's security sectors to operate independently.
The dawn of the new political dispensation has presented both challenges and opportunities for the security service, especially in the Gambia Armed Forces. Thus, the need for a security sector reform. My government will continue to create an enabling environment for the Gambia Armed Forces and indeed all other security services to freely conduct their operations without undue interference from the executive. I am convinced that it is only through these measures that as a country, we could get the best out of our men and women in uniform to execute their functions in line with their constitutional mandate under a democratic setting. It is gratifying to state that due to the existence of this relationship with the executive, the Gambia Armed Forces was able to register tremendous progress in the security sector reform process.
Meanwhile, Lieutenant General Yakuba Edrame, the Chief of Defense Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces, explains why there was a need to recruit new members of his institution.
In view of this, it became apparent that there is a need to recruit new, fresh blood into the Gambia Armed Forces, and of course, inject them into the different formations and units that constitute the Gambia Armed Forces. Consequently, following a very constructive engagement with the competent authorities, executive approval was subsequently granted by His Excellency the President of the Republic and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces to recruit a total of 650 potential recruits, including officers cadets. Out of these total numbers, it was worth mentioning that the Gambia Armed Forces recruited and trained a total of 226 personnel last year, who were later posted to the various formations and units of the Gambia Armed Forces, thereby improving the operational efficiencies and capability of the force to a larger extent so that they can fulfill their constitutional mandate as expected by Gambians.
The CDS assures the gathering that the recruits were enrolled based on merit, not handpicking as in previous years.
Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, it is pertinent to state that the graduating troops paraded this morning had undergone a rigorous and merit-based selection process to qualify them for enlistment into the military. Of course, as a requirement, I constituted a dedicated recruitment board And the board was charged with the responsibility, of course, guided by prescribed terms of reference, to select qualified Gambians who would serve this country in uniform. I must admit that the board did a very commendable job by carrying out their assigned tasks in line with the prescribed terms of reference, without favor, without ill will, and without affection. In other words, it was transparently conducted. That I can serve as a witness. My office did not interfere. Nobody interfered in the selection process, because gone are those days when people would interfere in the selection process. Gambians, irrespective of their preoccupation, irrespective of the tribe and region, they should have that right to be part of this fine institution we call the military. Not because you know somebody. Under my watch, whoever deserves it would be part of this fine institution. If you don't deserve it, you will not be part of this institution.
The Gambia Armed Forces awarded certificates to their guest lecturers and the most outstanding recruits during their 4-month training program. The Gambia Armed Forces also presented awards to the overall best recruits, the best female recruit, the fittest female recruit, and the recruit with the best shot. Reporting for Kerr, Fatou, I am Landin Cisse.